Hi, this is the Airsoft Hooligan with the reader review of the TRI PRC 152. Now, you can get this at PX Airsoft for $240. Yes, this is a really pricey piece of kit, but this is amazing. This radio is almost like a real one. It really does function. It has, well, when you first get it from the box, it comes packed really nice. You're paying $240, and to get it shipped here to New York, it took about 2 weeks, and it was $40 for shipping. So I'm sure if you live on the East Coast, it might be a slight bit. On the West Coast, it might be a slight bit less, and it might take a little less time. But it comes packed really nice in this dense foam. This is thick all the way around. All the way around. This really generous, thick foam would protect everything. It protects everything. And first thing when you get it, come with this manual. Now this manual comes in English on this side and Chinese on this side. Now the English is actually really good in this manual. I'd probably rate it a 8.5 out of 10. These people in Hong Kong, I believe they were controlled by the British at one point, so they better know some English. The manual is almost 40 pages for each side, so nice manual, tells you a lot of things. But one thing I didn't really understand, this manual is pretty confusing, and if you don't know anything about radios, so when you go pick this up, learn some stuff about radios. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Now this does show this is multi-band, and this is, on this side, it for some reason shows UHF and VHF. Now that is ultra high frequency and very high frequency, so that when you know the real radio, the real one can receive and transmit from 30 megahertz or gigahertz. What was it? I don't really remember. It was, wait, hold up, it said it, the antenna somewhere. What did it say? Megahertz. So this megahertz ham radio, it's like 1,000 megahertz. But this radio is, it receives, it does tell you in the manual, it does dust up. This does it said it over here, it does tell you what it does come with: antenna, battery pack, which could be bought separately, the main part of the unit, the adapter to charge it, and the user's manual. This table of contents shows you the main unit of the radio, shows you more of the main unit of the radio, tells you red for charging, green for charge complete, because the screen can light up. You can also change the color of the screen depending on how you want it. It says the antenna is rubber, it's really good. 128, you can preset 128 channels, that's great. But really, this thing can go anywhere from, this receives FM radio, so if you want to jam to on the airsoft field, you can jam to your favorite station, 97.1. And you can also, it says right here, it's FM, so it's 87 megahertz receiving. Then there's VHF, which is like cop radios and marine radios and stuff, like not the U.S. Marine, but marine radios on boats and stuff. It's 360 megahertz to 174.995 megahertz receiving and transmitting. This is UHF 0, 350 to 390 receiving. UHF 1, which is all the Motorola talk about radios, FRS, GMRS, PMR if you're in the UK, all those things. If you're in Hong Kong or Russia or whatever, they had they all are UHF, so all those families. So you can talk to anyone with the Motorola talk about, or Midland or radios like that are on UHF 1. And there's UHF 2, which is just receiving. I know you can't really see the quality of the camera, it's hard to pick up, but I'm just reading it to you. Shows more. A lot of information in this manual. You better read this manual. Now, when you get the radio, put this aside somewhere. Okay, now it will come with the main unit itself. Now, I did weigh this radio, and the whole thing together, well, minus this and this, weighs, with this on. Without this, you don't run into battle with this thing, with the charger. This whole setup right here with the battery, the main unit, and the antenna itself, this is just the standard antenna that it comes with. It weighs 1.7 pounds, I believe, and the antenna did come in this plastic bag. I believe it's non-static for shipping. Let's wait for this helicopter to fly by. Thank you, Fox 5 News. We know that there's a crime somewhere going on. So I did write my call sign on the battery pack so no one would walk away with my radio. And the trademarks on this radio is one thing that was surprising. That when you squeeze on, you have to squeeze it on like that. It is reversible, so if you want the back, this is the back because this is where the warning label is. This TRI thing came on the box. I just stuck it on there. I don't know what this means. I think it's different for each person. I'm guessing that mine was the 4000th radio or something, maybe. I don't know. And let's see, this more TRI, and just in case it remove all this, it does have trademarks right over. Not really gonna pick this up well, but it says TRI Instruments. So that's their own little trademark right there, even if you remove all of the trademarks. Now it does say, like the real one, Falcon 3 with the little R right there. It does say Harris, and it does say multiband, and this is what the real radio looks like. And it does come with the lock, and to show you that the battery is reversible. This is a little notch so the thing can slide down, and this is where you plug in the charger. This is really stiff. It's hard to get out with one hand. That's what she said. And this whole radio is waterproof. Once everything is screwed in, you screw in the antenna. It is waterproof or water resistant. I don't know to how much depth, but it is water resistant. So if you get water on it, spill juice on it, you're good to go. The locking mechanism, so that to prevent the battery from unlocking, just slides down like that. I believe this is for that phone, that M250 phone. I forgot what it was called, but like that little phone that people are wearing. That was where the phone gets plugged into. Now, never, when you have a radio, do not transmit without the antenna in. That will mess the radio because you're sending a lot of electricity nowhere. So make sure that you always have the antenna in. So if you're young like I am and almost made that mistake, don't do it. Now to turn on the radio, turn on this little dial over here. Comes on, makes a little sound. Now it goes from 1 to 6, and then there's F and then Z. I don't know what that means, but it says it on top. But on the sides here, it kind of wore out a little bit. Let me lower it. Now the radio, it has a full keyboard, unlike the PRC 148. It does have up and down. Now if you want to lock the screen, just hold down the clear button, and a little lock will appear in the bottom right corner of the screen to show you that everything is locked, so it doesn't matter what I press. I'm pressing anything, nothing comes up. Now to lock it, to unlock it, just hold it again. To reach FM, just hold this. I ain't get my flat jet. You ain't get your bag yet. Meek Mill, thank you, awesome. That's the FM station, and you can change it like that. I don't know if you can enter it in. Now, right here, these are the Motorola channels, so I did preset this. You have to do it yourself. You have to enter it in. I will show how to do it one day in a more in-depth review, but this is more like an overview and unboxing. Now this is when you push this is the push to talk, this big beefy button right here. Push that. The red light would come on and it shows that it's transmitting. You can't really see it out here. And when you're receiving, it's green, but you can change it in this setting right here. When you hold that down, you have this whole menu right here, and there are 37 or 38 things. It shows everything. You can set frequency, save channels. You can switch you can do a lot of things. You can even choose whether you want this to say channel 1 or channel 10, which is the channel 10 on the FRS system. This is channel 9, so you can have it set as frequency. I prefer frequency. Or you can also set it where it will say channel 10 or it will say channel 9 up here. So this is a dual thing where, so you can be on 2 channels at once, but you can only transmit on one, but you can receive on both. And there's a feature where, say you want to be on this channel, and if you receive on this channel, it would switch here. So if you want to talk to them, you just push your button, push to talk here, or you can push to talk wherever you have your push to talk, whether it's on the phone or on that phone radio, the phone headset, or on your regular push to talk. You can transmit on that station, and you can probably go back into your radio and go back to here, or you can set it where you can receive here, and if you want to switch, you just press the enter button and you switch. See the little arrow on the left of the screen switching up and down? So you can tell it to go to whichever channel you want to be on. And now this radio is really powerful, but the thing is that this battery, I've been messing around with it since I got it. I got it right before the 4th of July, and it's September 16th. Today it's September 16th, and I've been messing around with this. I went all the way to my friend's house, which is about half a mile away, and this thing can transmit half a mile through a busy city, so that is good. But you should be out in the open when you're transmitting. You shouldn't be inside, so you get the best results. But it did get a little hazy when you would go behind the building or you're in a really dense area. Now, one thing about this radio that's cool is that, say you see someone and they're on the Motorola's and stuff, say they're on channel 10, I can hear them talk, but if they have a privacy code on, I can't talk to them, but I can still hear them talk, which is interesting. Now, there's this radio, it's a really there has to be a second part to this, and I'm just outside, just want to do an overview where it has slightly better lighting outside because it's daytime and my room's pretty dark for some reason. Now I will do a better review inside when it's quiet, and I can sit down and show you everything, but this was just trying to show you all the important things you should pick up. And if you want to switch, this is channel mode. If you want to switch between frequency mode, you turn it off, and when you turn it on, you have to push the up button. So I believe you hold it, and there you go. See the little channel thing disappeared? So that you're in frequency mode now, so you can enter in the frequency, and you can see on, I don't know which frequency this is, but it is separate. This is channel 10, I remember that, and this is, you can also choose the gap, so you can see how I'm going up, and it's going up 5, and it's different for each one. Now over here I'm going up, and it goes 6.25 megahertz up. You can also choose it to go up to 10, or you can choose it to skip 25 megahertz, depending on if you're on GMR stations or whatever, or it's not GMR, but that, the other one, not FRS, GMRS. So you can either be in frequency mode or channel mode, and that was the one thing I didn't see anybody else saying how to get from frequency mode to channel mode, and it was frustrating. It took me literally 2 months to figure out how to get to that thing, and it was I was really happy when I figured it out how to do it, so I can preset channels and stuff. I was doing it randomly, and I thought you had to do some weird things or something, but really you just push this button up here, and I think you turn it on and you hold it, and it will go to that mode. And if you want to change it back, hold it, there you are, back in channel mode, so you have to hold it down while you do it. This right here is where the antenna goes in. This is the standard antenna. I'm going to buy the whip antenna soon. Now, this antenna, a British guy was reviewing this radio, and he said that he would leave the antenna bent down like this so it could bend. Again, that's what she said. There's the little cap right here, which is water resistant, and this is where you're pushing your push to talk, which I do not have one, but I'll have one soon. Now, one more thing about this is that it's unlike the real one. It doesn't have that little thing right here, and there's like another little knob, so it's slightly unrealistic in that sense, and it is slightly, very slightly smaller scale than the real one, just slightly. It's not noticeable, but it's just slight like that. Now, if there's any questions you have about this, you can ask me. I will gladly do it. I will gladly answer you, because no one really answered me when I asked questions, which was only 2 people on YouTube that had a video review of this, which was like 3 weeks ago is what I checked. And this does come in green, which I prefer because it's the real one, it's green, or you can get it in tan. And if you want to, you can spray paint it black to make it look like the PRC 148. But this one, let me see, what can I review before I go? Oh, these buttons, you can hear that. Nice tactile click on every single one of them, so you can feel it, you slightly hear it, so you know that you're pressing the button that you wanted to press, or you're pressing a button. So that is good, nice tactile click. You're paying $240 for a piece of kit. You better get something really good that you know what you're doing. And this radio is great. I've dropped it from hand height. I was holding it, I was standing up like this. Now I'm 5'7", and it fell probably 3 feet onto hardwood floor, no problem. Didn't really break. It also rolled off my bed. I was messing around with it on my bed, and it fell off the bed, which was like 2 feet. So this could survive some nice nasty falls. The people that made this TRI, you saw them, they're going around, they're PX Airsoft, they were going around bashing 3 cinder blocks just to prove that this thing was durable, and it worked just fine. They get a little scuffed up at the bottom, but now you can buy these battery packs. They're $60. Tons of accessories you can get with this thing. You can get different antennas. I'm gonna buy the whip antenna soon. You can get that little antenna relocation kit where there's a little thing that will plug in here. The wire, you can route the antenna to your back. You can get the phone antenna. You can get that. I'm gonna get that Silenex C4 Ops, that Tri PTT. You can get the U94, but you have to make sure you buy the PTT adapter for this radio, and this does not take real radio adapters. You have to get a replica one for this radio, but it will ask you at the PX Airsoft, there will be a replica, but you are asked whether you have a real headset or a reproduction headset, and I'm probably going to buy a reproduction headset. I don't have $200 to spend on a used pair of contact 2s, or $500 to spend on a new pair of contact 3s. Now, see, the push talk, if you get the most adapters for this, will run you like $19, $20, $15. So this radio is pretty pricey, but again, this is for the advanced airsofter, and I hope that now that I have a good radio, I'm an advanced airsofter now. So lots of accessories you can get with this radio. There's tons and tons of things you can get with this radio. It's ridiculous. And when you look up radios, just make sure you know what you're doing and look up anything, because there's lots of things with radios that I'm going to probably tell you in the next video that's really confusing, and I didn't understand, and I had lots of frustration, pulled my hair out trying to understand radios, trying to figure out which push talks do what, how radios work. So in the next video, which will be uploaded probably in a couple weeks or so, I will tell you guys everything. Sit down. I won't be out here on my balcony. I can show you nice and calm. I'll have a piece of paper, so it's going to be slightly easier. And if you have any questions from this video, I will answer it in the next one. Please ask questions, because I have not gotten any responses back from the other 2 people that I asked questions with. I don't know if they're going to respond ever, but I will respond if you have a question about this. And this is a really good rating. There should be someone out there that answers questions, and I will do that. This is the Airsoft Hooligan signing off with the TRI PRC 152.